this team. It's about winning, championship mentality and culture.
A picture-perfect Tuesday evening, Angel of the Winds Arena in Everett, Washington. It's going to get really hot in the Pacific Northwest. And speaking of hot, that is what the Seattle Storm are after a 5-0 road trip. They come back home to take on the 6-6 Washington Mystics. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Everett. Dick Fain along with Elise Woodward. Elise, most mortal teams would go on 5-game road trips and say, hey, can we pull 3? Let's maybe be greedy and get 4 out of 5. This team isn't mortal winning those 5 games.
Yeah, and it's part of a stretch that goes all the way back to last season. They've won 14 games in a row on the road, and they did it with defense. You knew this team could score, but how about the fact that the 5 opponents on this road trip averaged just 70 points per game?
And the big 3 were remarkable as usual. Look at these numbers. Brianna, 19 and almost 12. Jewel Lloyd, a guard shooting almost 50% from the field at 16 points per game. And then Sue just being Sue from behind the arc, 58% shooting from 3.
Yeah, from deep. We're talking about from deep, and she's made a ton of them. On this road trip, she made 17 of them. It is remarkable what these 3 do for each other in terms of spacing and ball movement. And these are 3 of the best players in the world, and all 3 of them wearing Storm jerseys. And that's why this team right now is 12-2 and as hot as any.
Well, it's going to be a tough one today. Washington has been a winning franchise the last few years. Give us our Carter Subaru keys to the game.
Well, Tina Charles is playing as well as anybody in the league right now. So you want to try to crowd that space, do early work against Tina Charles. 2, push the pace with the short bench. And 3, win that 3-point battle.
It's going to be a good one. We got starting lineups. We got the tip coming up just moments away. All the Olympians on the floor. There's one right there, the 12-2 Storm. The 6-6 Mystics. Stay tuned. It's going to be a good one tonight.
Storm Basketball, presented by Swedish, the official healthcare provider of the Seattle Storm. Health for good. Supported in part by Carter Subaru, safety focused, community connected, in Shoreline, Ballard, and 24/7 at cartersubaru.com. By BECU, the official credit union of the Seattle Storm. And tonight's Pride Game is presented by AT&T.
All right, welcome back to Carter Subaru Court. Sue Bird, the legend, joining us now. And Sue, congratulations. You make your 5th Olympic team for the United States of America. It's a huge accomplishment. You've already won 4 gold medals. I don't know, with this one getting pushed out from last year, it has to feel just almost like a sense of accomplishment just to make it here in 2021. What's it feel like?
Yeah, I mean, I think I am a little more grateful to get named to the 20. Actually, they're still calling it the 2020 Olympics, just FYI.
Okay.
But I do feel grateful that the Olympics weren't canceled, that they were just postponed, so we still have this opportunity. You know, we'll see what happens. Obviously, with COVID, it's a totally different circumstance, but happy to be there and happy to be named to the team.
Well, Sue, and it's deservedly so. You're playing, I think, maybe perhaps your best basketball of your career here in year 20 with the WNBA, averaging a career high in 3-point makes per game and percentage. How do you feel in terms of your body of work and your career, how you're playing right now?
It's interesting. I think, you know, the way this team is set up, I get to play alongside 2 of the game's best right now in Stewie and Jewel. And I think what that does is it just takes off, you know, some of the, I guess, pressure off of me. I don't have to do as much as maybe I had to do 5, 10, 15 years ago here at the Storm. So I get to kind of just be myself. I think that's my nature, is to get people involved and just play my role. And so I'm able to do that, and maybe that's why the efficiency's gone up. But, you know, at the same time, this team, even though we're winning, we're still finding ourselves. So I do think there's a long way to go.
Well, I was going to say, this team is the defending world champs, but it's different. You lost 2 starters off last year's team, and yet you guys are finding a different way to win. How do you characterize the strengths of this team and what you guys are doing so well right now?
Yeah, well, clearly we can score. You know, that hasn't been a problem. I do think our depth, our bench is going to play a huge role down the stretch. So we have good combinations that we can put in, and like I said, put the ball in the hoop. Defense is still a work in progress. We're showing signs. But to your point, we look different, you know, and sometimes we had a core group for a really long time, and we kind of got used to what, you know, quote unquote success felt like and looked like for us. And we've had to kind of let that go a little bit and form this new identity, which we still are forming, but we are getting used to each other and getting used to what that new success is. And like I said, I'd rather do it winning some games than losing games, so I'll take it.
I'll tell you, the winning's fun, and it sure is nice to see you smile. I feel like you smile more now at this point in your career than you did earlier. Is that accurate?
Probably, yeah. I was probably a little too serious. I mean, I'm pretty serious now, but I was probably too serious back then as well. But it's good. I mean, listen, I don't know how many games I have left, so I might as well have fun with it.
Well, you're certainly having fun, and so is everybody watching you. Sue, thanks for taking the time. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
She's almost as good an interview as she is a basketball player. Just fantastic all around. And there she is in the Joe TV starting lineups, along with Jewel Lloyd, Breanna Stewart, Katie Lou Samuelson, and Mercedes Russell. That has been the lineup that Noelle Quinn and Dan Hughes before her has been going with for the last several games. Starting lineups for the Washington Mystics, a smaller lineup: Leilani Mitchell, Ariel Atkins, Sydney Weiss, the three guards, Teresa Plaisance, and then the multi-time All-Star and first-team All-WNBA forward Tina Charles. Time now for the road to recovery, and yikes, Elise.
Yep,
that is Washington right now.
It's not good, especially because Elena Delle Donne, you just love to watch her play as a fan of the game. And it's not just her, but 4 other Mystics out.
And there again, knock on wood, Seattle's been like that for most of the season. Our Swedish road to recovery. Couple All-Stars jumping it up, Tina Charles and Breanna Stewart. And it's the Western Conference Player of the Week winning the jump against the Eastern Conference Player of the Week.
Both of them just recently named to the U.S. Olympic squad, and Tina Charles and Bree Stewart.
Sue trying to throw it over the top. Thought Russell was going to dive, and Russell hesitated. Turnover on Seattle. Leilani Mitchell back in the PNW. After playing her high school ball at Kennewick, leading the Lions to the state tournament numerous times. She was just fun to watch. Here's Sydney Weiss, also from the Northwest. Oregon State misses that 3-ball. Here comes Sue on the push. Lloyd around a pick from Breanna. Hand off Katie Lou, and moving screen on Mercedes Russell. So the first 2 possessions, certainly not what Noelle Quinn was looking for.
Yeah, 2 turnovers, and for Seattle, 2 different plays where it looked like if they'd executed, they would have had an open look.
Atkins, high flying guard with the jump shot up and in. The lefty sticks it over Breanna Stewart. She is having a really remarkable season. Another player named to that Olympic squad, 19 points a game, and that time a difficult shot over the top of Stewie. Here's Sue with it. Driving in with the left hand. Oh, the step-through move. We don't see that from Sue much. We normally see the pull-up from 15 feet, but how about that move? Just one of the many in her repertoire that she can handle with ease. Atkins with the quickness, gets it back to Mitchell. Dumping it low inside. This is where Tina Charles wants it, but that was well strong over the defense off the glass and the iron. Sue tried to save it, and last touched by Atkins, so it'll be Seattle basketball. Seattle a little sloppy with the ball in the early going, except for this possession. That was tasty. That is one that you would do in a one-on-one half-court drill. There's no weak side help. There was no help in the paint, so Sue at 5'9" was able to get that shot off. Curling is Lloyd from 16 off the mark. Atkins against Lloyd, 2 of the more athletic guards in the league. Back to Weiss. Charles going to test her hand at a 3-ball in and out, tapped around. Katie Lou comes down with it with the assistance of the tap from Breanna Stewart. That shot from Charles is one you'll live with. 30% for Tina from deep this season. Sue picks it up, now hands off to Lloyd, over to Breanna inside. Kick pass to Sue. Nice extra touch to Katie Lou from the corner. That one's short. Sue Bird making that shot wide open for Katie Lou. She doesn't nail that one, but that's a shot in terms of percentages that she'll knock down way more than she misses. She's been shooting very well recently. I want Katie Lou taking that shot a lot, that wide open. Atkins misses one from the exact opposite corner on this side. And another miscommunication on offense, but Seattle dodges the bullet there, getting the play back with it touched by Washington, but Seattle already had 2 turnovers and another couple of passes that got tipped out of bounds that they retained possession at least.
Well, Tina Charles is just sitting in the paint. She's not getting out to Mercedes Russell whatsoever, and so the paint is more crowded than it should be with Tina so deep.
The WNBA legend there showing Mike Tebow, and then the cut by Mercedes Russell is up and in.
And that is the antidote. If your player isn't going to come out to you, move without the basketball, and Russell creating her own opportunity there.
Mitchell has it, tapped away by Samuelson. Mike Tebow and company have had a lot of problems here in the Pacific Northwest, both in Everett and in Seattle. They are all-time 5-17 on the road in the state of Washington. Mitchell has it. Oh, dumps it low to a wide open Tina Charles. Miscommunication there, Elise?
I think that Tina Charles, you slipped behind the initial defense, and that left her wide open.
Here's Sue, quick trigger 3. That one's short, and it bounced off the rim, and here comes Weiss the other way. Plaisance attacking, too strong. Brianna loves to get the rebound and push herself, and she is so adept at it. Russell holds, now back to Brianna. 12 in the shot clock. Hand off to Sue. Good defense by Washington thus far tonight. Brianna jab steps, pulls up, and hits. You just can't defend that.
No, not when you're 6'4", and you've got that high shot pocket. You jab, you're going to give yourself just a little bit of space to squeeze that jumper off.
Atkins over the top of Lloyd with a pass. 3 ball on the way, and Teresa Plaisance knocks it home.
And she has been absolutely on a tear from deep. You have to get out, get a hand in her face, make her put the ball on the floor.
Coming off her first double-double of the season. 16 and 12 in their last game. A win over Indiana and a foul inside. That's going to go on Weiss.
And good spacing by Seattle's offense there. Katie Lou had the entire paint area to work with, and Sydney Weiss just could not get in front quickly enough.
Well, Quinn, the head coach of the Seattle Storm, very, very successful thus far.
He was very excited today to talk about that player, Jewell Lloyd from deep, who made the Olympic roster. And Jewell Lloyd, Noel Quinn saying deservedly so. Nobody deserves that shot more than Jewell Lloyd.
And there's Charles, who missed her first 3 but knocks this one down. The All-Stars are playing.
And defensively, if you're going to give Tina Charles some look, she's already got going in the lane a couple of times. You'll give up that 3-point look to her. You want to try to get a hand in her face, but you don't want her working inside.
Seattle really spacing the floor with a 5-player outlook. Now Russell dives into the post. Here's Lloyd with it. 2 on the shot clock. Gets one off. No good. Snatched down by Tina Charles. Mitchell kicks over to Plaisance, and now Atkins with it. A switch and a mismatch down low with Plaisance, with Lloyd guarding her, but they couldn't get it to her instead. 3 by Weiss is no good, and Seattle runs out the other way. Trailer is Lloyd, feeds Brianna inside, tough pass, tougher catch, and shot by Brianna.
Just beautiful teamwork and the ability to read the defense. It started because they pushed tempo and the defense never set.
Tina's really feeling it from outside right now. She's taken 3 and made 2.
And that's a bad sign for Seattle's defense, because Tina Charles is just so good. Hitting 30% from deep coming into this game, but she can certainly light up.
Oh, what a pass by Sue. Exquisite there. Seattle's really cleaned up their offense in the last 3 minutes or so.
Now, the spacing has been exquisite over these last few possessions, and that is the difference. Hitting cutters in stride.
Tie ball game, 3:40 left in the first for Charles. Working on Russell. She's liking the J right now, and why not? Tina Charles is in double figures in 6.5 minutes. She's got 10 points and 2 boards.
That's funny. Noah Quinn before the game said, we just got to make sure that Tina Charles doesn't get to her sweet spot. Well, she's found a lot of sweet spots already.
Which one
today.
is that? Tipped around, Mercedes gets it back, puts it up and in with the left hand. Noah Quinn wanted the and one, didn't get it. But we're tied, and this has been a fun first 7 minutes of action. Mitchell all the way to the window. Kind of squeezes her way between defenders.
just 5'5". At least that's what she's listed as. I'm not sure she's quite there. Undersized, but getting in the lane amongst the trees and putting it in.
Here's Lloyd with it. Pulls up from 17. That one's no good. Lesance runs it down to Leilani. Gosh, I remember vividly Leilani at the Tacoma Dome as a freshman in high school with the ponytail that went down like to her knees. And here she is, about 50 miles north of Tacoma, knocking it down from 3.
Yeah, Leilani, when she was a little freshman, I don't know if she's even grown since then, but she was a great player winning that state championship with Kennewick in 2000.
The shorthanded Mystics looking good thus far, up 5. The Storm app presented by Angel of the Winds Casino Resort, your go-to place for Storm stats, rosters, and standings. Play the interactive Storm Squad player pick'em game and win cool prizes like Storm autograph swag or a one-night stay at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort, exit 210 off I-5 in Arlington. Find the Storm app on the Apple App Store or Google Play Store by searching Seattle Storm. One of the Olympians from the Seattle Storm right there, Jewel Lloyd. What did her Mama Lloyd, think about her making the team?
Yeah, my mom, she was excited. She yelled her a little bit, but she kind of was just like, I knew it. Like, you put in so much time and work and your growth. You know, I just knew that you had to be on the team. She's like, because you grew up and matured so much, and the whole quarantine process and everything that you've gone through. So as much as she was excited, she was like, wait, I knew this, you know? But I think that's just the confidence of a mother, right? Like, they always believe that their child is the best and it could be on anything. So it could have been a ballet recital. She'd be like, I knew you were a great ballerina, you know, like, whatever. So, yeah, no, it was great.
Love watching Mama Lloyd there on the baseline or on the sideline cheering her daughter on. She is a Storm super fan, no question about it. And here's her daughter right here going to the window, a little strong, tries to keep it alive into the hands of Sydney Weiss.
And watch out, because Tina Charles already with a 12 points. She's 5 of 8 from the floor. I mean, she averages 24.5, but she's already halfway there.
I thought she was going to pull from 3 when she got it there. Instead, she gave it up. Now she gets it back. Ooh, tough turnaround jump shot. That was a heat check right there. Rebounded by Katie Lou Samuelson. Jewel in the corner. Into Stewie. All poked out of her hands by Tina Charles. What a great battle that is. Lloyd against Leilani Mitchell. 8 on the shot clock. Step back, fires a cutting Candace Dupree. Knocks it down. A brilliant pass there.
Just seeing the defense turn their head and then raise up out of their stance. Dupree wide open.
Inside, Tina Charles, shot blocked by Brianna Stewart. And Sue's on the push. There's the trailer. Brianna lays it up, no good. Tipped around, and Seattle retains possession on the hustle from Stewie.
Stewie had a great look. Tina Charles late to get back after missing the offensive rebound.
Sue for 3, no good. And how about Katie Lou with the offensive board? Can Seattle stick it in? They're getting all sorts of opportunities. Mike Tebow is livid at midcourt, just screaming at his team to get a rebound. This looked like Seattle about 4 games ago on that road trip when they couldn't get a board. I believe that was the Dallas game. Here's Jewel finally scores. That's a crushing possession for the Washington defense.
Just somehow Seattle finding a way to keep that possession alive.
Here's Mitchell with it. She'll pull up from 3. That one's off, and an offensive board. Shavonte Zealous at the buzzer throws it up, and it was partially blocked. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Some great action in this one. And Jewel Lloyd doing what Jewel Lloyd does. The 3 ball there, but Tina Charles has got a dozen here in the first 10-minute Storm, down 3. Tonight, the Seattle Storm are hosting Pride Night, presented by AT&T. The Storm have launched a Pride merchandising line that'll feature 4 different items: an equality tee, a Storm logo tee, a hoodie with Pride by and trans colors, and a Protect Trans Youth tee. The proceeds benefit Lambda Legal and their work fighting for LGBTQ plus civil rights. All are available now at StormTeamShop.com. That's Seattle Storm at TeamShop.com. How about Candace Dupree, at least, with that bucket that she scored with about a minute left to go in the first quarter? She passes Cappy Pondexter for 4th most points in WNBA history. She now has 6,812
buckets. That's what she's gotten her entire career, now in her 16th season, and has never not been in double-figure scoring at the end of the season in terms of her average. Just a remarkable career for Dupree.
And we got a foul on Candace down low with a grab. Seattle down by 3 right now. They did trail by 7, which is highly unusual. That was the largest deficit faced by the Storm since May the 20th. That is how good this basketball team has been the last month. That is a month they haven't trailed by more than 7.
It's a really impressive streak, and it just shows that this team, no matter who they're playing, they're going to be competitive. They have yet to have that dud game where they just didn't show up.
Here's Zealous, the former Seattle Storm guard, knocking it down on the pump fake and go.
And she has been absolutely struggling to shoot from the floor this season. So for her, after missing a shot at the buzzer, that'll be a relief to see that ball go in the hoop. And that was a tough shot.
Here's Stewie catching fire. Looks good, but a little long. It was dead eye straight. Zealous coming the other way. The 5-point lead. Atkins now. Pull up for the free throw line, and the lefty sticks it back up to that game-high 7-point lead for Washington.
And the substitutes on the floor for Seattle. Only Stewie stays.
Pick, roll, bucket. Jordan Canada to Stephanie Talbot.
Executed to perfection in the 2-player game between Canada and Talbot. But again, this rotation for Noel just going game by game of who is going to stay in on that second quarter out of the big 3.
Plaisance against Breanna Stewart. Hands off Atkins, she'll attack. Now the kick out Weiss, guarded by Jordan Canada. Weiss gets all the way to the window, and we've had a couple of straight line drives. Weiss there, we had Leilani Mitchell with a couple minutes left to go in the first quarter, and that's something you have not seen a lot of against this Seattle Storm defense, which has been airtight.
Especially Sid Weiss, the natural lefty, going all the way hard right-handed.
Dupree trying to answer. That one's short. Seattle's offenses look good in spurts, but really no consistency thus far. I could say that about their defense as well. Atkins fires on Prince, no good. Washington 4 of 11 from 3-point range. Talbot with the catch and fire. That's just the second 3-point shot for Seattle.
And that's an excellent job of pushing tempo by Jordan Canada. The defense not set, and she saw Talbot out of the corner of her eye wide open and knocking it down.
Officials timeout. Oh, we've got a bloody nose. That's what they're doing. So they're going to get that rectified.
And Washington does not have a lot of bodies to go to. Right. They are missing 5 players. They only played 7 players in their win against Indiana.
Sydney Weiss is just going to wipe it off, come back in. That's a tough Pac-12 player right there, Elise. You appreciate tough Pac-12 players.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite. Former Beaver, always smile on her face, always really good with the kids in the arena, and just good human, that one.
There's a 3 ball on the way. That one's short, rebounded by Canada. And boy, Beaver Nation would show up at the Key Arena for those Pac-12 tournaments, wouldn't they?
Yes, they would.
Candace Dupree kicks it back out. Canada pump fakes there, drives in. Nothing doing. She's going to circle back around. Talbot with it. Ooh, the fadeaway by Talbot. That one's no good. Not exactly her shot, but she's been shooting so well. See what she's got there.
She's been such a good addition to this Storm team. Alicia Clark, the former starter and defensive whiz on the bench now for the Washington Mystics.
Gustafson knocks it down, and Megan Gustafson just picked up. She was the 17th pick of the 2019 draft after being the Naismith Award winner for Player of the Year in college basketball with Iowa. Canada has it. She'll step back and fire. That one's short. Not a lot of offense there. Seattle down 6.
And the ball got trapped in that corner, just kind of stuck there, and Canada let it go, but not a high percentage shot for Canada.
And a foul on Talbot there. You were mentioning just the attrition by Washington, the 5 injuries that they have. Obviously the biggest being Deladon, who's been out for a long, long time, but Leslie out, Hines Allen out, McCall out, Cloud out. And, you know, they're playing basically 5.5, 6 players.
Well, that's why pushing the tempo is so important. So Seattle looks up the scoreboard and sees they're down by 6, but this game is going to come down to the 4th quarter, you would imagine, where Seattle has legs.
Ooh, a late whistle there on a turnaround jump shot missed by Tina Charles. I believe they're going to get Ezzy on that call. She just checked in.
I know one thing, the way that Tina Charles is playing, she can single-handedly take over a game. She's got 12 points in this one, heading to the foul line, averaging 24.5, which would obliterate her all-time career averages. And this is former WNBA MVP. Her best year was 16 when she averaged 21.5 points per game. And Mike Thibault with a short bench and not a lot of depth saying, I will give Tina Charles the ball and she can do as much damage as she can. They are not going to shy away from going to a huge weapon.
She is on pace for about 30 right now, even more than 30, and she's got 13.
Coming off a 30-15 game from last week. Impressive stuff.
Dupree left her open, which is a bad idea when she's got the basketball about 19 feet out.
Just inside that 3-point line, but it's like a lay-in for Dupree. That is her shot.
Here's Atkins against Candace. Does a nice job backpedaling and getting in front of that drive. Zealous has it. Good D by Talbot. But she sticks the jump shot. Javonte Zealous has hit a couple.
Yeah, that's a tough shot again. She's hit a couple buckets with the defender right in her grill.
Dupree appears to be in the flow now. To Talbot, quick trigger shot. And there's been some questionable early offense shots here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, there's that fine line between pushing tempo and then going too quick. John Wooden used to say, be quick, don't hurry.
Gustafson against Ezzy. She'll screen. This is Johnson driving in. Her shot is blocked, and Jewell took one right in the chops and an offensive foul. And Jewell looks like she got it in the eye with 5:17 left in the first half.
Or in the nose.
Oh, right, man. We might have 2 bloody noses in this quarter. One by Sydney Weiss, one by Jewell Lloyd. Washington by 7. Hey fans, help us climb the charts and vote your Storm into the WNBA All-Star Game. Download and vote on the new WNBA app or at WNBA.com/vote. Vote daily until June 27th. The WNBA All-Star Game will be played in Las Vegas Wednesday, July 14th. For more information, visit WNBA.com. Brianna Stewart, Jewell Lloyd, Sue Bird, all those opportunities to vote. The big 3 in. And of course, Tina Charles, you've got to imagine she will be represented in Vegas on Wednesday, July 14th. What will be the temperature in Vegas on July 14th? Wow, I'm glad they're playing inside.
I think it was 110 in Vegas last week.
Here's Lloyd with it. She is 4 points shy of 3,000. This one's a little long. We'll keep the 3,000 watch going tonight for Jewell. Zealous will bring it down. Washington has yet to commit a turnover in this game. We are 15 minutes in.
Mike Thibault is so good at spacing out his players. They don't go into the trap zones. They're just very smart.
Atkins pull up. That one's off the mark. Ezzy keeps it alive to Sue. She had Talbot running. Didn't want to take the chance to go over the top. Now she'll give it to Ezzy. Phil and layup with the left hand. That was a really nice move by the youngster.
And the part about it that's really difficult is that she didn't travel. She didn't drag that pivot. She got the ball with a lot of momentum heading forward, and yet she was able to put the ball on the deck on the way to the bucket.
And you earn the confidence of the Hall of Famer when you can make plays like that. She's going to pass them more to you, but there's a 3 out of the corner there. That's Johnson's first points of the game.
They are winning the three-point battle right now. The Mystics, they've knocked down 5 of them. Seattle just 2.
Which is unusual for the Storm. The Storm usually outscore their opponents by 12 a game.
And that's just pushing tempo, getting it to the open shooter. Sue Bird could not get out there in time. And even though the percentages say, okay, you give that shot up, right now you've had a lot of different players knock in the 3-ball for Washington.
The great equalizer. And the Storm have used that their advantage, outscoring their opponents by 12 per game from three-point line. But tonight, it is 15-6 Washington. Here's Charles, second opportunity, no, third opportunity, and is fouled and put it up and in. Wow, worst case scenario on that possession for Seattle.
Ezzie McMagor did a nice job moving her feet defensively, taking away this first opportunity, using her length. Kind of a tough angle, but then Charles just continues to work and just fights for that basketball and the and one opportunity. And she is up to 15 points with a free throw to come. And that was the danger. Tina Charles can single-handedly take her team to a win. And so far, Seattle has had no answers.
Well, the answers are probably going to come in double and triple teams to see if anybody else can beat them on this Washington team.
Well, and they've been shooting the 3-ball well. Already 5 made 3 balls for Washington. So you double team, then you're picking your poison, and they can't hurt you from deep.
And there's another bad pass. This one from Katie Lou to Sue. And Seattle off and on out of sync tonight. I won't say completely off because they have had stretches of really nice half-court offense, but
they've been a little bit careless. A couple of turnovers that were unforced.
5 thus far for Seattle overall. Lobbing it down, Tina Charles. The help comes in Samuelson, but Tina gets it in the right spot and lays it up and in. Tina Charles now with 17 points in 13 minutes.
And that was through the double team. The lob going over the top of 6'6" Russell. Katie Lou there, and it just didn't matter.
Sue with it. She's going to pull up. That one's short. Rebounded by Plaisance. So just 3 minutes left to go in the second quarter. In a second quarter that has been dominated by Washington. They led by 3 at the end of 1. They have pushed that now to 12. And again, into Charles against Russell. Kick back out Mitchell. And there's, you mentioned it, you picked your poison. There was a lot of black shirts surrounding Tina Charles, but Leilani made them pay.
And you see Sue Bird saying, all right, here we go. Let's settle down. Down by 15 on their home floor. Washington doing everything right now on both ends.
Yeah, you got to walk them down possession by possession here in the last 2 minutes and 25 seconds and get it to a manageable deficit and get a little momentum back. But right now, all the momentum with the Mystics. The Storm and Denali Advanced Integration, proud to spotlight organizations supporting youth in our community. Today, the Bird's Nest features the Cleveland High School boys varsity and JV basketball teams. Welcome to the Eagles. Cleveland to Seattle Public School. Cleveland STEM High School provides real-world preparation for real-world success in personalized, relevant, and rigorous small learning communities. Sue Bird sees her team down 15 right now, as Washington's on a 10-0 push here in the late stages of the second quarter, but they go right to the big, and they like the matchup there with Mercedes Russell, and she took it right to the window. Well done by Noelle Quinn in the timeout.
Well, Tina Charles just standing at the restricted area, not even moving out of there, so Russell took it right at her.
And Charles throws it away. Here comes Jewel on the push. Reaching from behind was Ariel Atkins, and we got a bump. If they weren't going to get Atkins, they were going to definitely get the bump on Leilani Mitchell, you would think.
Well, you thought that Seattle might head to the foul line in that opportunity, but they call that one on the ground, not in the bonus. Seattle yet to go to the foul line. We got 2 minutes to go in the first half. And usually free throw attempts is a sign of aggressiveness.
Here's Brianna with it. She drives in. A lot of contact and an offensive foul. Looked like the block was going to be called right there. Eric Bruton was kind of holding that position like he was going to put his hands on his hips for the block. And then, like, mid-call, he went, nope, we're going to punch it out.
He just deked everybody on that one. He thought for sure he was going to give a hard block motion.
Watch Bruton back there. It was, his hands were coming up, and then, no, I'm going to punch her out. Oh, with the right fist and the charge call.
Good news for Seattle, they do not have anyone in foul trouble. Ezzy Magnagor has 2.
Luis had, like she shuffled the feet there, got to Leilani Mitchell. Inside the Seattle killer today. Tina Charles, who short arms that one. Sue on the run. See if Seattle can get this to single digits by halftime. It's at 13 right now. Stewie has it. Driving in, gliding, and getting it to go with the left hand. Look at the long reach by Breanna Stewart. I don't know if anybody covers more ground than she does with 2 steps in the whole league.
Well, that isolation was perfect. She had plaisance on her and took it right at her.
Charles thinks about the 3. Mitchell now on the switch against Russell. Step through. Not nearly as good looking as Sue's was earlier today. Russell comes up with it to Bird. To Breanna. Backing in, double comes. Kick out Jewel. Big 3 here for Seattle. That one's off the mark. Breanna keeps it alive, so it'll be Seattle basketball.
Now, this first half, certainly, you have teams in the WNBA that can get hot. Tina Charles, you know that, 17 first half points. Seattle wants to get within single digits at halftime and then play their game in the second half with a Mystics team that is down on numbers and could get tired.
Sue on the curl. She fires from 17 and hits. Big shot there. It is in single digits. Now, can you get a stop? And another bucket. Then the crowd, which is as big as I've seen all year, as they start letting more and more fans come up here to Everett and open up more seats. 3 ball in the way? No. Seattle does have that opportunity, and they're going to hold for 1. So you would think, worst case scenario, 9-point deficit at halftime. Here's the screen from Russell. Ball knocked away. 5 seconds left for Katie Luke. Gets by the defender, lays it up and in with 2.5 left. Mitchell goes high for that one, and she's just going to hold. So after a 10-0 Washington run, Seattle trims it from 13 to 7 in the last minute of the first half. So that's got to make head coach Noelle Quinn feel a little bit better about this first half, and she's joining us right now. Noelle, let's just talk about that last minute there. How big was that to A, get the momentum back and then trim it from 13 to 7 very quickly?
Yeah, it was huge. We finished off the quarter strong. Obviously, got to get back to getting stops, defending the ball. We talked about it before. Washington does a great job of spreading out and knocking down the threes. But that's good momentum to carry us into the half and hopefully into the third quarter.
Anything you want to do, especially on Tina Charles? She's got 17 and she's pretty hot.
Yeah, you know, you got to do your work early on Tina. It's a tough matchup with her. We have to show bodies and make it a little bit tougher. Do our work earlier in the possession. She's getting too deep on us.
All right, good luck in the second half. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
That's head coach Noelle Quinn, as her team has at least got it back to 7. Mystics outscore the Storm there in that second quarter, 21-17. Be back with a special guest coming up here at halftime from Everett. Storm fans, secure the best tickets and lowest price for the rest of the season by purchasing the 10-ticket minimum flex package to secure your seats. Call 206-217-WNBA or visit stormbasketball.com. 43-36 our score here as we get set for third quarter action. Let's take a look at the standings in the WNBA after tonight's games. This one, the last one going. There is the Storm up a game and a half on the Aces, who have been lights out as well this season. The Sun at 9-5, and then 3 teams right around the 500 mark: Sky, Mystics, and the Liberty. And the scores from tonight's games in the WNBA, we will get to you in just a moment. Seattle shooting 46% at 17 of 37. Washington at 49%, including those big 6 threes, 6 of 16 from three-point range, 37.5%. Seattle's first 8 games this season, they allowed 86 points per game and 44% from the field. The last 6 games, as you have mentioned, Elise, they have been locked down, allowing under 70 points per game, 39% from the field, 21% from three-point range. So this Washington performance offensively in the first half certainly mirroring something we saw in the first 8 games from Seattle and not the last 6 games.
I think the reason has been Tina Charles and how red hot she has been.
Here's the runner in the lane by Atkins to start things off, and she gets nothing but air there. It'll be Seattle basketball. Remember, as Elise mentioned, they are holding on to an 8-0 run right now after it was a 15-point deficit. We'll take a look at the scores at the bottom of your screen. Connecticut with the win over Dallas by 10, and Chicago all over New York tonight with 92 on the board against the Liberty. One's off the mark. Rebounded by Washington, and Mitchell will walk it up. And as fast as Seattle wants to play, you would imagine that Mike Thibault is just going to tell his guards, let's just get this game over with as fast as possible, with as few possessions as possible, with as few healthy players as we have. Plaisance nearly throws it away, saved by Charles. Mitchell, nice pass to Plaisance. That was a beautiful half court. It was kind of messed up execution, but it looked gorgeous at the end.
That should have been a turnover, and it ends up being one of the prettiest plays of the game. Well done by the Mystics.
Lloyd has it. Screen by Russell. Jewel pulls up and hits. That's good to see. We need Jewel Lloyd. She has been quiet in the second quarter after hitting a couple in the first. She's got 7.
And really for Washington, that last possession, it's what you have to do to knock off the #1 team in the WNBA. You have to have plays like that. Crazy plays go your way.
Oh, need a play like that, too. Starting a fast break. Katie Lou running on the backside. Jewel for 3,000 in her career, and there it is! Jewel Lloyd, the 3rd Storm player ever with 3,000 career points. And the 73rd in WNBA history, the 13th youngest in WNBA history for the Storm Star.
Impressive milestone for Jewel Lloyd, and it's just the beginning.
Here's Sydney Weiss, erases that Lloyd 3 with a 3 of her own. It's back to a 7-point game where we started this quarter.
And that's why Washington is dangerous. They've got that inside presence of Tina Charles, but they've knocked down 7 threes so far in this game today to keep them in front of Seattle.
Here's Sue with a 3 on the way from Birdie, and she has been lights out from behind the arc for about the last 2.5 weeks. Mitchell has it. Does not want to go up against Brianna. Throws it over the top. And a turnover. Here comes Jewel on the run. Oh, we got a whistle and a foul in the backcourt, stopping the fast break.
Leilani Mitchell reached up. Good foul as they had numbers. But for the Mystics, the block coming, erasing it is Brianna Stewart. Then Jewel Lloyd seeing that she's got enough space to lift off and drill the 3. And Seattle down by as many as 15, now within 4.
Certainly coming out of the break exactly the way Noelle Quinn wanted them to. And Jewel Lloyd has got some vigor right now. And she cuts it to 2. Lloyd with 12 points, including 7 in the last 3 minutes.
And that works. She knocked down the 3 ball. The defense gets in her face, and she explodes by Weiss. Good double team there.
All over Tina Charles, and losing the basketball is Atkins. And this is Seattle Storm basketball we're used to seeing. Jewel between the wickets. Into the lane, just bullying Leilani Mitchell. And we got a tie-up. Nice job by Mitchell holding her ground, because Jewel was just relentless with that basketball.
I'm surprised there's not a foul on this play, but this is the one where they didn't even get close enough to touch Jewel Lloyd, as she just blew by the defense and then hung in the air to finish.
So we're going to have a jump ball between Mitchell and Lloyd. That one clearly in favor of Seattle. And Mike Thibault's got to wonder what the heck just hit us in the last 4 minutes. And it really dates back to about the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. This was a prize fight. The Storm ended a round with a flurry, and they started the next round with a flurry. Jewel easily wins the tip, and Sue corrals it. Seattle can tie or take the lead here. We've had 6 lead changes and 4 ties. They all came in the first quarter, and there's the lead for Seattle for the first time since midway through the first quarter, and it's been all number 24. Jewel with 10 in the quarter. Timeout, Mike Tebow. Seattle by 1. And welcome back to Angel of the Winds Arena here in Everett, Washington. Dick Fain along with Elise Woodward. It's been a while since the Seattle Storm lost a basketball game, but a deserved win tonight for the Washington Mystics, and it really started and ended with number 31, one of the greats to ever play, Tina Charles, putting on one of her great performances of all time, just 2 off her career high 34.
Yeah, there's a line, way too hot to simmer down, might as well overheat, and that was Tina Charles today. She was absolutely fabulous and unstoppable, and they tried sending bodies at her. She turned and faced. She had the three-point shot going for her. I mean, she hit 5 threes in this game. She took it left hand, she took it right hand, she got late boards. I mean, she did everything. That was the 3-point opportunity that she cashed in on, and Mike Tebow, yeah, he likes that one, but she just made some unbelievable plays. And for Seattle, they just came up a little bit short in an epic performance from the 3-point line. 16 made threes. Seattle comes up just 4 points short. So if you're an optimist and you're a Storm fan, you're thinking, wow, I don't think Washington could have played much better. And they escaped with a 4-point win. And that's really what it takes to beat this team. You have to beat them at the 3-point line.
And you can double, triple team a post player if there's no shooters on the outside. And Seattle had to pick their poison today. And when they picked Tina Charles, the rest of the team just buried her.
Well, and Tina Charles was just at her absolute best. 2 points shy of a career high. She is an Olympian. She's 32 years old. She's been doing it for years. But this year, she is playing the best of her career. Came in averaging 24.5 points, and she upped her average.
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? She just, I mean, it's, you're looking at greatness. And she came in here today and put on one of the best all-time performances for an opponent in Seattle history.
And Seattle made a flurry in both ends of both halves. The end of the first half and also the end of the second half, and they put themselves in position to win this game. They just could not get it done late.
Well, and Breanna Stewart had a really good look late. It would have tied it up with just a few seconds to go, and it didn't go down. So you look at it and you say, okay, it's one of those that this is the WNBA. There are professionals all over. This team, the Washington Mystics, even though they were shorthanded, they've got 2 Olympians on their roster too, and Leilani Mitchell, an Olympian for Australia in the past.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is a quality Washington team that won the WNBA championship just a couple seasons ago. Imagine if they can get Elena Delle Donne healthy and get Natasha Cloud back and some of these players. But unfortunately, if you're a Seattle Storm fan, they were unable to beat a Washington Mystics team that was shorthanded.
Well, I think you'll take these numbers from Seattle any game. 44% from the field, 8 of 19 from 3, 42%, 11 of 12 from the free throw line, assisting on 21 of 32. I mean, those are pretty solid numbers across the board offensively for Seattle. But the great equalizer, and we've talked about it many times in this broadcast, Seattle averaging 11.5, 12 points more points per game from 3-point range than their opponent. Tonight, 48-24.
Yeah.
There is your ball game clearly. 24 points, a minus 24 from behind the arc.
Yeah, and for Seattle, they average outscoring opponents at that 3-point line by 11 per game. That's how they win games. That's how they stretch out leads. That's how they go on runs. And they could just never win that category tonight versus Washington. And not only did they lose that, they got doubled up. I mean, 16-8. That's a massive, massive ability for Washington to. At one point, they led by 15 against Seattle. So you tip your hat and you say, hey, they did everything they needed to do to come in and beat the defending world champs.
They did, and a big, big win for Washington to really stay in the thick of that playoff race. They go to 7-6 with the win. Seattle drops to 12-3 with the loss. 34 for Tina Charles, leading the way for the Mystics. 19 for Kennewick's Leilani Mitchell. And for Seattle, Jewell Loyd with another fantastic performance. 23 points and a season-high 9 assists, 17 for Breanna Stewart, 10 for Mercedes Russell. But Seattle could not get it done in the final minute of this one, and Washington gets the win. Join us 1 o'clock on ESPN Sunday for Washington and Las Vegas. For Elise, for Bob Akamian, Dick Fan saying so long, everybody. Washington with the win. The Storm app presented by Angel of the Winds Casino Resort, your go-to place for Storm stats, rosters, and standings. Play the interactive Storm Squad player pick'em game. Win cool prizes like Storm autograph swag or a one-night stay at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort, exit 210 off I-5 in Arlington. Find the Storm app on the Apple App Store or Google Play Store by searching Seattle Storm. This comeback has been spirited and spearheaded by Jewell Loyd.
Yeah, she is just playing at such a high level now. 15 points. She's just too shy of Tina Charles, who has gone scoreless here in the third quarter. But a 21-5 run by Seattle since the Mystics had a 15-point lead.
It was 40-28, 3:15 left to go in the second quarter, and that was a big three by Leilani Mitchell coming out of the timeout, giving the Mystics the lead back again.
Leilani Mitchell, she's in her 13th season in the WNBA. Two-time most improved player winner, which that's the only player to win it twice, but man, she just continues to play at a high level.
Loyd slipping as Breanna, and she gets bumped and fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line.
And this will be for the first 2 free throws of the game for Seattle, with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. And you can see Breanna, she's got some marks on that right arm. Some blood, some scratches.
Yes, she does. Seattle scored 28 points in the game's first 17 minutes. And they have been absolutely lights out since then. They have scored 23 now in the last 5 minutes and 45 seconds.
Well, every team wants to take a shot at the Seattle Storm, and they have only lost twice in their first 14 games.
Atkins from 3, and the rainbows keep coming from just about every player on this team. In fact, 6 different players have hit threes.
And that's what Washington can do. They've made 9 so far in this game, 9 of 19.
Sue really complaining about a lot of contact by Leilani Mitchell. She's still barking at the officials. There was some contact down low. And I don't even know if Breanna had as much contact as her as Sue got from Mitchell up there at the three-point arc.
You know, Leilani Mitchell is tough. She had that matchup with Jewell Loyd, got the jump ball, but really it was her just bodying up on Jewell Loyd, and now out front on Sue Bird, trying to fluster her, pester her. Sue Bird doesn't like it, says, hey man, if I'm getting contact, call the foul.
3 players in double figures tonight, 1 for Seattle. Jewell's 15. Charles was 17, and Leilani Mitchell has been really good tonight for Washington. 4 of 6, including 3 of 4 from behind the arc and 11 points. Former Kennewick Lion coming back to her home state and doing some damage.
So Jordan Canada on the floor now to deal with that matchup.
Here's Atkins kicking to the corner. Play Sox this time. That's an air ball. Canada on the push to Breanna. Sue loses it, gets it back. Slip screen by Stewie. Now Russell fighting her way inside against Charles, and a tough shot there with the left hand.
Yeah, that was a really tough shot. Tina Charles was right there. A jump hook and at least 10 feet out for Russell.
Ooh, he shakes Sue there. Gets it back to Charles, who passes up a 3. Mitchell will not pass up a 3, and that one's long. And Loyd was running out the other way. Little cherry picking there, hoping somebody else would have gotten the rebound, and Seattle pays the price as that one goes down, and Tina Charles now has 20 on the game.
3 of 4 from deep. He's doing everything for the Mystics.
Stewie tees it up straight away. Get in there.
That thing wanted to pop out and hit every part of the rim, but finally settles in.
Weiss has it against Bird. Bird all over her. She's saying, if you're not going to call contact up top, I'm going to get all over the guards too. Here's Charles high post against Russell. That's a tough one. She gets it to, jeez Louise, did she even jump?
She got it right where she needed it to let it go, and it's good.
And the runner by Jordan Canada, Statue of Liberty with the fingers.
And good space for Canada to work with. She has that quick first step. No chance for her defender to recover, and no weak side was home.
Bird stuck on Charles right now. Charles wants the basketball, needs some backside help. But that leaves a shooter open. Deep for Plaisance, no good. Seattle dodged a big bullet there on that defensive possession. They were all out of whack. And here's Russell coasting in! And Seattle's got the lead once again. And my team wants to take another timeout. A 20-second one this time. 3:24 left. Seattle's getting that running game going. The defense leading to the offense. And that pace of play, like you talked about at halftime, Elise, is exactly where Seattle wants it.
Now, you mentioned it. They might have dodged a bullet when they had Sue Bird trying to block out Tina Charles, but the board bouncing out to Seattle, and then Lloyd in stride, hitting the Russell 6'6" presence, moving down the floor, catching it all in one motion, scoring it over Weiss. That was beautiful.
One of our old favorites, Alicia Clark, is in the building tonight. As a member of the Washington Mystics, of course, injured in the preseason, but she was here to get her championship ring tonight to a huge ovation, as you might imagine. She is an all-time favorite amongst the fans, and rightfully so.
Absolutely, with the way that she worked, and look at that smile. Is there a reason she's a fan favorite? And we miss her. Wish her the best of luck. Really unfortunate that she was injured this season and can't play. All 9 seasons in the WNBA played here in Seattle. And boy, what a role she played. 2-time champ.
Charles, backside cutter is zealous, loses handle of the basketball, another turnover. So there was no turnovers for the Mystics for a long, long time. As a matter of fact, at halftime, they had only 2, and they got both of those in the late stages of the second quarter. They have 5 now for the game, and thus far, Seattle scored 5 points off the prior 4. Let's see if they can add to it here. Brianna drives in, loses handle of the basketball, stolen away by Tina Charles. Doesn't have the numbers, but she's going to go in on Jewel anyway. Kick it to Mitchell against Canada for 3.
Oh,
late on. Cool her off.
Jordan Canada was right in her face.
4 of 6 from behind the arc is Leilani Mitchell. Canada with it, with 3 back into the game. Nearly another turnover, but Candace gets it. Kick out Lloyd, 10 on the shot clock against Atkins. She'll step back, tough 3, but the way Jewel is shooting doesn't matter if it's tough or not. She is knocking everything down right now.
That jump shot 3 is unguardable. She's just rising over the defense on a step back.
We've now got the 11 lead changes in this game. We were at 6 at halftime.
I'm telling you, this is great basketball.
Leilani again, in and out. I thought that was going down, so did she.
Yeah, she clapped her hands together and kind of looked up to the ceiling.
Prince against Zealous. Looking inside for Stewie. Nothing Zealous could do there except foul Brianna Stewart or give up the easy 2.
I'll tell you, there's a really nice crowd here tonight on Pride Night, and it's as loud as we have heard this arena. More fans able to come into the arena, and they have been treated to some really high-level basketball on both sides. Plays from Tina Charles and Leilani Mitchell, but Brianna Stewart, Jewel Lloyd, Sue Bird, boy, yeah, it's been going back and forth with really high-level stuff.
That 3 by Mitchell that was missed, Elise, was the first missed 3 rebound. Ezzy can't get it to go. Tip back up, no. Rebound, Gustafson. That Leilani Mitchell 3 was the first miss from behind the arc for either team in the second half. They were 6 of 6 to start the half. And here's another one. What the heck, right?
Well, that ball fake, she feints the pass and then just steps into her 4th made 3 of the game.
And we got a loose ball foul. That's going to go against Atkins there. And the 12th made 3 of the game for Washington. Washington since 2019 is 25-3 when they make double-digit 3-pointers. and they've made 12 already. They do not lose when they make 10 plus 3. So we'll see if Seattle can buck that trend.
Well, it's crazy because Seattle normally shoots their opponents per game by 11 points at the three-point line. Today, it is not good for Seattle. They're down 15 points in that category. They've only made 7 while the Mystics have made those 12.
Canada back irons the second one. Ezzy, how about this? Wrestling for the loose ball. That'll get the fans on their feet here in Everett.
A good hustle play by Ezzy, using those long arms to just reach in against Gustafson.
You want to earn more minutes if you're a young player, do exactly what Ezzy has done in the 3 minutes she's played today. She had a great roll to the basket, catch, finish in her first minute in the game in the first half, and then she does that here.
These long arms, she should win this tip.
And she does, but stepping in front of Jewel Lloyd as Atkins looked like she may have carried the basketball, but no call. Charles thinks about a 3 against Ezzy. Now drives in. Finger roll is up and in. 27 for Tina Charles on 11 of 18.
What are you going to do with her? You get out to take away the 3. She's made 4 of them. She puts the ball on the deck and goes all the way to the rim.
Spin move, Canada, no. Rebound, Charles. Zealous has it. They don't want to play this pace. They need to slow it down. Charles with it. She'll go to the rack, though. It's working for them right now. We'll see if it works in the fourth quarter, though, when their bodies are tired, because Seattle much deeper. There is only one starter in the game right now for the Storm. And that's her right there. Dupree from 19. Straight away, big shot, Candace. 30 seconds left in the third. 69-66, Washington by 3. We've gone back and forth in this third quarter. Atkins bumped and fouled, or no, it was inside.
Yeah, Candace Dupree trying to get around Tina Charles. I'll tell you, Tina Charles right now, this entire season, she has been special. This game is ridiculous. 29 points. She's 12 of 19 from the floor. She is literally unstoppable tonight.
And how about losing the basketball? Not anticipating the pass was Atkins. Gustafson says, my bad.
Yeah, Gustafson has had just 1 practice and 1 shoot-around since getting signed to the hardship waiver, because the Mystics only had 7 healthy bodies. So that time you wondered, did Ariel Atkins think she was supposed to be backdooring? Just miscommunication, and you understand why.
And now Seattle can hold for 1. Could potentially tie going into the fourth. Atkins all over Lloyd. 7 seconds left. She'll attack Gustafson. Pull up. Leaner, no. Ooh, there was a push from behind. No call there for Ezzy. And Mitchell at the buzzer. This one for Mitchell does not fall, but most of the rest of them have. Leilani Mitchell and Tina Charles leading Washington. And it's Brianna and Jewel Lloyd getting it done for Seattle. We got ourselves a dandy with 10 minutes left.
Storm Basketball, presented by Swedish, the official medical care team of the Seattle Storm. Health for good. Supported in part by Carter Subaru, safety-focused, community-connected, in Shoreline, Ballard, and 24/7 at cartersubaru.com. By BECU, the official credit union of the Seattle Storm. Tonight's Pride Game is presented by AT&T.
A fun game tonight, 69-66 going into the fourth quarter. Both teams, Elise, at 50% or better. Seattle 27 of 54, and they've gotten their three-point percentage up to 54% by going just red hot in that third quarter. They're 7 of 13, and Washington shooting it well as well. It's 52% from the field, 44% from three-point range. Here's Candace Dupree to snuggle it home. And Candace has had a nice game after kind of cooling off the last couple weeks. She has 8 points tonight.
Yeah, she's been good off the bench in Seattle right now. Just one starter on the floor, Sue Bird. For Washington, Tina Charles not out there. Seattle would love to go on a run without their big star.
As he tries to go up and get the rebound, plays and steps on the line. And for Candace Dupree, who hit that last shot, first 7 games of the season, 6 of them she scored 8 or more points. But she hadn't reached the 8-point mark in the last 7 games. This is the first time she's done it in 8 now.
Well, she's going to be a player that is, sometimes she might score 6, sometimes she might score 12, but her role is to just get in and make the opportunities the best for her. She's not that go-to player like she was in Indiana.
Jordan Canada, tough pull-up jump shot, no good. And who do you go to with this lineup to score? Well, the answer is coming off the bench right now, and that's Breanna Stewart. Free ball by Gustafson. That one's long. And Gustafson missing that shot, turning it over a couple of possessions ago, as Elise mentioned, just signed to this team. Here's Sue with it, the runner, no.
And that one, Sue Bird having to jump forward to get away from the defense, and I think that made her leave that shot a little short.
Here's a straightaway 3, Plaisance. No, Jordan Canada with the rebound. And now you've got Leilani Mitchell and Tina Charles coming up off the bench to check in with Breanna Stewart. Nice feed inside. Prince to Ezzy for the basket, and Seattle has the lead again by 1.
Well, and that's what we're used to seeing from Seattle. Make that extra pass. Tiffany Prince could have gone up for a jumper, instead put the ball on the deck and found a wide open player.
Atkins against Canada. Loses handle of the basketball. 3-on-1 the other way. Out in front is Canada. The big 1-2, lay it up and in. Seattle by 3. What a pass by Sue Bird off the turnover.
And those turnovers were so hard to come by for Seattle. Washington with just 2 of them that time, leading to the big 6. The bucket going the other way off that steal.
Zealous trying to get it inside. Tina Charles still stuck over there. Plaisance with it. Shot blocked by Ezzy. Here comes Birdie. They can't get Charles in fast enough. Candace Dupree. And a blocking foul. And Candace will go to the free throw line. Boy, oh boy. Mike Thibault, I know that he has got to rest his star. But his
Look
team.
at that shot, though. Oh, my goodness. What a block by Ezzy. Two-handed like a middle blocker on the volleyball court.
She has had 3 really incredible plays tonight. Dupree to shoot 2, and it's a thin team. We've been talking about it all night long. Mike Thibault has got to really push the right buttons here on when to bring his scores back in. But not having Mitchell and Charles in the last 2 minutes was really deadly.
So they're back on the floor, so is Breanna Stewart, but Seattle has used their depth, and you wonder right now, for that energy level with 7 minutes to go. They take Tina Charles off the floor. Seattle goes on a big run. A 5-point Seattle advantage now, and the momentum with the Storm.
Pull it pass inside to Charles. Turnaround jump shot. It's just instantaneous.
Oh my gosh. She is literally on fire. Way too hot.
Birdie's going to fire away from 3, in and out. It was a 10-0 Storm run, snapped by that Tina Charles turnaround.
Tina Charles' career high is 36. She is at 31. She had a 30-point, 15-rebound performance.
Well, she was like, I kind of like this Eastern Conference Player of the Week award. I want to win one again this week.
I mean, she is just playing at an elite level. She's put up some shots that the defense was all over her.
Weiss has it. Dribble drive, kick back out. Charles trying to get closer to that career high, and she's only 3 away now.
Thibault, take her out again, all right?
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, that has been the only defense is when she's been sitting on the bench.
She's played 27 minutes of the 33 and a half that we've played thus far. Birdie has it.
A 5-0 run since she got on the floor.
Good catch by Dupree. Breanna tries to keep it alive, can't do it. Fighting for it there is Plaisance and Breanna.
Who do you think they're going to go to right here?
I wonder, maybe 31. And she's got it, but it's tipped away.
Good fight down low by Breanna Stewart on the box, trying to push Tina out as far as she can get her.
Timeout on the floor. Don't go anywhere. This is fantastic theater right now between these two teams, just slugging it out. We're all tied up inside 6 to play. The Storm travel down to Vegas to take on the Aces June 27th at 1 o'clock Sunday. You can catch the action on ESPN. Single game tickets now on sale for all July home games. Visit stormbasketball.com to secure your seats. And that game, at least, is going to be monstrous in the Commissioner's Cup standing. Seattle gets that one. And it's not mathematically over, but 6-0 versus 3-2 is just about over if Seattle can win.
And they would love it. It's more money, more money, more money for the Commissioner's Cup. We played after the Olympic break, and the players certainly are talking about it, giving them a little extra incentive.
Tina Charles has the last 12 Washington points and 17 of their last 20. She is 2 points shy of her career high, and that was set back in 2017 when she was playing for the Liberty against Dallas.
This is her third time over 30 points in the last 5 games.
Jeez. Well, they got to rest on her with all the injuries they have. They got to lean even harder on their best player. And Charles can't quite get that rebound, but we got a loose ball foul. That's going to go on Seattle. I think they're going to get Russell.
And again, Tina Charles that time just battling in between 6'6" Russell, 6'4" Stewie, and she takes the contact and earns another possession for her team.
Weiss inbounds to Mitchell. 5:40 left in this one. A tie ball game. It's our 6th tie of the game. We've had 13 lead changes. Turnaround, Charles, no good. Tipped up, and Charles gets it back. Feeds Mitchell. Oh, no. Oh, yes.
I saw that one coming again. The ball bouncing out to the open Mitchell, who knocks it down. That is her 5th make on 9 attempts.
Brianna scrambles for it. 12 on the shot clock. Hands off Jewel. Spin move in a lane. Can she get the English? No. Rebound Charles. That's her 10th board. Another double-double for Tina Charles.
Tina Charles has scored 17 of the last 23 Washington points.
Plaisance faces up, misses that one.
Seattle is just glad anybody besides Tina Charles and Leilani Mitchell shot that possession.
And inside, tackled is Jewel Lloyd. She's all right. She's going to get up slowly, however. This double-double for Tina Charles is 157 in her career. She needs 2 more to get to second most all-time to Sylvia Fowles. And she'll probably, the way she's playing, she'll get there by the end of the week.
Well, right now, Tina Charles just 2 points away from tying her career high. I'll tell you, she has absolutely been on a tear in this game. Unguardable. She's hit some shots that you just shake your head and say, all right. The defense did everything they could possibly do to affect the shot, and she's like, whatever, I don't even feel you.
Big free throws here for Jewel Lloyd. Knocks them both down. The career 90%er. Top 10 all time in WNBA history from the stripe.
And another 20-point game for Jewel Lloyd. Continues to racking them up.
Pass inside, kick out now. Good ball movement here. They get it back to Charles. No double yet. They're just showing the double team because they can't leave Mitchell. They do for a brief moment, but Mitchell misses that shot. Leilani, 5 of 10 from 3-point range, 17 points. Prince driving in on Tina Charles. Gets her off her feet. Good rebound by Breanna Stewart. Put back, no, and a foul, and Breanna will go to the free throw line. 51 of the 77 points for Washington coming from Tina Charles and Leilani Mitchell.
And that is what you knew coming in they were going to have to do, because 5 different Mystics players not able to go. And yeah, late whistle there, but Stewie fouled on that offensive rebound putback.
Seattle had a 5-point lead. A run by Washington got the lead back, and now we're tied.
How much gas does Tina Charles have in her tank is the question. She's grabbing her shorts on the foul line. She has played with so much energy not just on the offensive end, but defensively. She has limited Stewie to just 15 points. She's had that matchup a lot, and she's done a great job.
And we got a whistle out front. It's going to go on Jewel Lloyd. Just for comparison's sake, the Mystics starters in minutes: Atkins 32, Plaisance 32, Charles and Weiss 30, Mitchell 27, whereas Seattle has no one at 30 minutes.
Noah Quinn trying to manage those minutes and hoping it'll pay dividends here in the last 4 of the game.
Quinn has gone 10 deep. 3 ball from Weiss, no good. Offensive rebound, shot block. Mike Tebow has gone 7 deep. Jewel has it. Driving in, kick to Brianna. Big 3 out of the corner. Back iron.
Another rebound by Tina Charles there to clean it up on the weak side. She's got 11.
Atkins, who has been quiet today until that. Atkins had only 7 points until that shot, and she's 8th in the league in scoring at 19 a game.
The Mystics have made 15 threes, an opponent high for Seattle. The Storm have hit just 7.
Can they make it 8? No, but Sue gets her own rebound. Into the corner. Here's Mercedes. Nice spin move. Can't get it to go. And it's tipped out of her hands. And look at Plaisance. I mean, she could barely walk down the floor. Mitchell has it. Back to Charles. Atkins. To Plaisance. Does she have the legs to get it to go? She does! She is so exhausted right now, and yet she had the legs to throw that one down for the 16th 3 of the game for Washington. Timeout on the floor. Hey fans, get the freshest Storm gear featuring the new logo at the official team shop of the Seattle Storm. Visit the Storm team shop online today to find jerseys for every player, official practice gear, new Wilson basketballs, and more. SeattleStormTeamShop.com. Here's some shirts. Unfortunately, you can't get at the team shop. These are just company issue that the team was wearing tonight. How about these at least? These are sweet looking.
These are amazing.
For the 3 Olympians.
So cool.
They are. They're like, Bob's right. They're old like 70s LP covers. Those are really, really cool shirts, but they were given out to Storm staff tonight at the game.
We don't qualify?
We did not qualify, evidently, as Storm staff. I'm a little disappointed. There will be a phone call in the morning. Just kidding. Here's Brianna with it. 10 on the shot clock. Jump hook, no good. My goodness.
And Tina Charles, no doubt, there to affect that one. She has done everything for Washington.
Atkins now can really put a first nail in Seattle's coffin here to get it up to 7 or potentially 8. Charles inside, kick back out, Plaisance. Mitchell for 3, in and out. Charles offensive rebound. Can Brianna get to it? Triple teamed in there was Charles. A new 10 on the shot clock now.
She's literally doing everything. The O board, kicks it out, 13 boards, 34 points.
Steps back against Sue. That was interesting. And Plaisance there for the offensive board.
Yeah, 2 really big clutch plays by Plaisance. She drilled the 3-pointer, and now that O board pickup, and that's tough. Extending their lead to 7 here with only 90 seconds.
Step back 3 for Jewel. There it is. That's what you needed. Down to 4 now. Buck 28 left. Time very much of the essence here for Seattle.
A clutch 3 from Jewel. She's made 5 of them today. The entire team only has 3 besides Jewel.
Lloyd with 23, a season high 8 assists. She's done everything. 8 of 16 from the floor, 5 of 7 from 3-point range. Katie Samuelson comes in for Prince. But Tina Charles, 14 of 23. And we knew it was trouble early, at least, when she hit her first 2 of her first 3 3-pointers as a 30% three-point shooter.
Well, I mentioned she had 30 points, 15 boards, and Stewie gets that one.
Stewie got it from behind. That was a game saver right there, potentially. If Seattle comes back to win this game, we're going to remember that Brianna blocked from behind. And here's Brianna the other way. Laying up, it's a 2-point game.
What a pass from Jewel Lloyd. That dime takes her to 9, and just leading Stewie to a wide open bucket.
And Charles walked back the entire way. That is how gassed she is right now. Seattle needs one more stop. Charles inside. Reese plays Sots from 15. No good. Rebound, Brianna. Seattle's got a shot. And they want a timeout. 30 seconds ago, Tina Charles had a point-blank layup to get it to 6, and it was blocked from behind by Brianna Stewart. And here we are, less than a half a minute later. It's a 2-point game. Fans loving it here, and look at that slip by
Jewel
Brianna.
Lloyd getting it to Brianna, and that is wide open. Jewel Lloyd looking at a double-double. 9 assists, needs one more, but you know what? We've seen when you need a late bucket, you want the ball in the hands of Jewel Lloyd going up.
You hear the term shooters shoot, but in this case with the Seattle Storm this year, they have had many of these situations where it did not look like they were going to win the basketball game. Minnesota, Dallas, now this one. You hear shooters shoot? Hey, winners win. Seattle just wins. I'm not guaranteeing a win tonight, but when it looks bleak and it looks like it's not going to happen, this basketball team finds a way to, at the very least, give themselves a shot in the last minute of the game.
And I think here, down by 2, you are just happy. You do not need to go for a 3. They're a very good three-pointing shooting team. They've made 8. You take the best look you have right now.
Overtime is the last thing Washington wants right now. They cannot handle more minutes of basketball. A 2 is just fine here. Over to the corner. A 3's even better, though. No good. And Samuelson has it. Loose ball foul. Keep it here. And Mike Tebow can't believe the call. We might have to get a look at this because it looked like Seattle was over the top.
Atkins winds up on the deck. Underneath, it's Mercedes Russell and Plaisance, and then Atkins trying to box out Brianna Stewart, and that's a tough one.
Yeah, I don't think that's a foul on, I don't think that's a foul there on Washington. Now, I would say maybe no call, just kind of incidental contact. Or
I will say for Atkins, she was there trying to box out Stewie, and when Stewie got in the air, she pushed back underneath. I think she lost her balance, but you can't allow somebody to go underneath somebody when they're in the air.
Seattle has outworked, out-hustled Washington late, but you just got to give a lot of credit to this Mystics team because they are so shorthanded. Their bench has played a total of 28 minutes tonight. Total. That's not one player playing 28 minutes. There's another look at it. And what do you think?
Well, I think that there's definitely contact. Atkins trying to box out, and I think you either call Stewie for the first one coming into Atkins, or what was called was the second one where she got up underneath Brianna Stewart when she was in the air.
So that's a kind of a safety play then.
I think absolutely, because Brianna Stewart was in the air. But I think Mike Tebow definitely, when he looks at this, is going to be upset that the first initial contact was not called when Stewie was hustling after that board. And it looked like her momentum took herself into Atkins, made her stumble, and then she kind of stumbled back into Stewie, who was in the air after that.
My initial instinct was we were going the other way. When I heard the whistle, my initial instinct we were going the other way. And then I saw Mike Tebow just going nuts on the sidelines. I mean, wait a second. They're keeping it here. All right, what do you do here? You got so many weapons. Which one do you use?
Well, you're down by 2. Again, I think that you go with the high percentage look. 3 or 2, you go for the open look. And you know how clutch Jewel Lloyd has been. And it looks like they're going to do 2-player game with her and Stewie.
Here's Brianna against a tired Tina Charles. Brianna puts it up. No good rebound by Charles. They get it out to Leilani Mitchell, and she's fouled. Oh, my goodness. We talked about the point-blank land for Charles that was blocked by Brianna with a minute left. This wasn't exactly point-blank, but it's one Brianna makes probably 7 times out of 10.
Yeah, that is a good-looking shot for Stewie. Jewel hitting her right here. The jab step. She goes at Tina Charles. Tries to push it over the top, and just a little bit too much on it. Hit the back of the rim. I know Stewie, she's had a couple of chances for shot 1 earlier this season that she couldn't get to go at the buzzer versus Dallas, and then that one. And this is the big free throw by Mitchell. Storm's still in it. This would be a dagger.
An excellent free throw shooter, Leilani Mitchell, with 4.3 to just about end it. and a 4-point game. Now it's miracle time. Now it's quick three and foul is the only way you can get to overtime now. But boy, oh boy, hand it to Washington. It's not quite over yet, but it's looking that way. 16 of 38 from three-point range. Their bench playing a total of 29 minutes in this one as you watch just a barrage from a plethora of shooters for Washington tonight.
Well, the three keys in this game were to keep Tina Charles in check. She's got 34, so you didn't do that. Win the three-point battle. They've got 16 made threes. Seattle has 8. These are epic type of performances by Washington, and yet they're only ahead by 4 here in the fourth quarter. That's how good the Seattle team is, but right now they are down by 2 possessions.
Here's Jewell, catch and shoot. That one's well off, and that's going to do it. Clock's going to tick down. Tina Charles is going to inbound. She's got a smile on her face. She says, yeah, let's go, and why not? I mean, she just willed this team to a victory tonight. Heck of a coaching job by Mike Thibault, shorthanded as well. One of the greats of the game right there. But Tina Charles with 34, Leilani Mitchell with 19. More to come and final stats from Everett right after this.